In every community, region, or country, there are a number of entities with duties and specific goals which work together or independently towards the well-being and welfare of their community members and beyond. On this episode of The Key Point, I have three guests in the studios. They are going to introduce themselves shortly on the topic, the role of NGOs and civil society. So I'll start with you.
Okay, my name is Ategwa Hombalutna. I'm the Partnership and Resource Mobilization Officer at NGO Young Volunteers for the Environment, called Jeunes Volontaires pour l'Environnement. Thank you for having me on the show.
It's my pleasure having you. So our regular?
Yeah. Thank you, Jerry. My name is Latif Wali. I'm the Council Chair for Togo National Debate Council and also Mandela Washington Fellowship 2022.
Thank you very much. And next.
Thank you for having me. My name is Seyram Adjakpo. I'm the Head of Programs and Monitoring Evaluation at Togolese branch of West Africa Network for Peace Building. Thank you.
I'm very glad I have people from different associations, which means your goals, your duties are equally different. Mm-hmm. So with relation to the topic, the role of NGOs and civil society, let's start with Mr. Latif. When we say NGO, civil society, how do we identify such entities?
I think technically they look like they have same things, which is the impact on the community, which is resolving problems in the communities, having an impact on people, the populace lives and all those stuff, involving themselves into developmental aspects, whether it's healthcare, education or whatever, like all the domains possible. But the only thing is just the basic statement or the stepping stone of them now comes into the middle to see like what is now the slight difference that exists between the CSOs and the NGOs. But I think there is no big difference. It's more, it's more nuance.
All right. Thank you. So, Mr. Seyram.
Yes, thank you.
What is your submission?
Just like Latif said earlier, I think civil society organizations and NGOs are the same things. NGOs are included in civil society global, and in civil society organization, within it we have association, NGOs, we have for someone syndicates, network of organizations, and we can identify both NGO and civil society like community of persons that are moved or linked by the same interest and also by the public interest and also collective activity that is providing good to populations.
Well, before I get to Ms. Marcelina, I think the umbrella term is civil society.
Yeah.
And within it, we can get some other branches. Okay, so what is your submission then?
As they already said, I think the term NGOs, as we all know, is referred to non-governmental organization, which means that they operate independently for the government. So within those civil NGOs, we have like we have like environmental NGOs, civil servant NGOs, NGOs who really work on advocacy issue, on operational even activities like projects on the ground. So we can say that, as you said earlier, CSOs, civil society organization, is the generic or the broad concept, which maybe is included the diversity of NGOs, the diversity of organizations ranging from small to high profile, informal and formal one. Because within civil society organization, not only NGOs, you have like faith-based organization, environmental movement, ecological or health or gender, etc. So it's more like within citizens who came together for a common goal and purposes.
Okay, so starting with yourself, you come from the youth environment organization, so would we classify that as an NGO or a civil society?
Okay, my organization, Young Volunteer for Environment, let's say, is specifically environmental international NGO. Why? Because our interest is for the protection of all ecosystem and environment. And we know that within environment, we have like ourselves being part of that environment. Now we are like looking for having the legal status as an NGO, international non-governmental organization. So let's say that we are like, as I said, and our mission is,
Before we get
okay, great.
Before we get there, so Mr. Seyram, your WANEP, that's how I decided to
yes, WANEP.
What category does it fall under, NGO or civil society?
Yeah, my organization WANEP Togo is a network of organizations. So we have member organizations within all the country, from Lomé to Dapao. Yes, and our goal is to work for the peace and social cohesion in Togo.
So in the nutshell, are we dealing with WANEP as an NGO or a civil society? I just want to be clear.
As I said earlier, we are both civil society, because NGO is member of the civil society global.
Yeah, so I do understand, but you look on the platform here, we have different representatives from different organizations.
Yes.
So she has identified herself as an NGO, looking towards becoming an international NGO.
Yes.
So from your side, you may have activities that, correlate with both sides. But when somebody wants to identify you to any other person, let's say I met Mr. Seyram.
Yes.
He is from NGO WANEP. He's from civil society WANEP. That is a category. It doesn't mean you are putting yourself under an umbrella. I just want to be specific about which umbrella you fall under.
NGO.
Okay. I'm very glad for the short answer. So, Mr. Latif?
Yeah, Togo National Debate Council falls under the civil society umbrella, and we are more into young volunteers, and it started with like volunteers from universities. It gathers majority of its members come from like other private universities and public universities from the whole country and all those stuff. So that's how. So I think even according to our statutes is as a civil society.
Civil society.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have, like I said, a diversity on the platform. So I want to start with you. I'm starting with you actually because there was a battle about if you're an NGO or civil society. And with respect to how the activities go, you will need some funds to, push you forward to do the impact you want to create. So how do NGOs and civil society raise funds for their programs and projects?
So yes, we have different manners of getting funds from for our activities, and the first one is to get funds from the members.
Okay.
The members or the particulars or the population. So we have global fundraising from the people, asking them to give money. So we collect money from people. My organization don't do that, but it's a manner.
Okay, tell us
second
what your
one,
organization
the
does.
second one is the donation from patrons.
Okay.
In French, mécènes. So these people give money, and the one that applies to my organization is grants.
Grants, okay.
Yeah, grants. And actually, we get grants from state partners. And so it's financial and technical partners, such as the UN agencies or diplomatic missions that have their goals which meets ours. Okay. So if the goals meet themselves, so they can give funds to help out to implement activities, and so that's
so let me cross over to Miss Marceline from GVE. What are some of the means through which you gather funds for?
We can say that we have like a variety of funding sources. Most importantly is through project writing, and it's a bit difficult now that partners are being more specific on activities. So apart from the fund from project, we have also the members' contribution, because our organization, the organ or the political, let's say, the members are the head of the functioning or the running of the organization. So through the board of directors, who also particularly contribute to the mobilization or fundraising nationally and internationally. So we can also say that we have also some grant from organizations through partnership, and also some bilateral or multilateral fund here from UN agency like UNDP, through several projects or collaborations. Yeah.
So, Mr. Council Chair of TNDC, yours deal more with language. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, we are more than language. This is what many people think. We are more also into promotion of leadership.
Okay.
So as young people, we have another project which has to do with Leadership 2.0. That's the name of it, which is kind of training to young students, like from all over the country, like represented. Like we always the issue. Like we always deal with universities all over the country, and whatever we do has to do with not only the promotion of leadership. We also deal with promotion of civil serving, like patriotism and all those stuffs. And this is where we organize like the Togo National Debate Championship, which has to do with promotion of freedom of speech, promotion of democracy, and all those stuff.
Some of those activities.
But as far as our funding sources are concerned, I think we have two types. We have the first one, that is the internal funding. The internal funding system, which has to do with an internal contribution from all the members, because the point is we have a huge number of members, and then we have the external one that has to do with partnerships, grants, and all those. So we have the U.S. Embassy that's always behind us every single time. So that's it.
I actually had them on the show last time, and they gave us some of the examples of the things they do. Yeah. So starting off with you, I know even if you get grants, there are consents, there's accountability, there is that necessity to see if what I put my money into, did it come out? But besides that, you also as an NGO or civil society have some challenges. Could you tell us some specific challenge relating to the Togo National Debate Council?
Currently, the challenge has to do with it has to do with the country's policy first. Okay. Because, for example, when you're dealing with youth leadership, when you're dealing with promotion of peace building and all those things through what we do, Leadership 2.0 and the Togo National Debate Championship, for example, which is now going more internationally. One of the challenges is the misinterpretation of the ideas behind what the civil society is doing. Sometimes when it is like it is not a tradition in the country, you are like the one bringing it, the premier person. It becomes really complicated, and I'm sure GVA people also will say the same thing, because I was here in like long ago when the founding fathers of GVA started, and I knew what it was. So it is really complicated at that domain. The second is the management itself, like the board. Okay, all of you have the same ideas to move the thing, but usually what happens is sometimes ideas come to diverge into a lot of stances where we have opportunities, or we'll have like benefits, personal gains also coming into it seriously. And the third, and that point has to do with the mismanagement of funds, because when funds comes, people start shaking how is the fund is going to be shared and all those stuff. People don't think about what is the impact going to be and all those stuff. And the last one is even how to get the funds themselves. It's really, really crazy, especially, as I said, it depends on the country. It depends on the strategies you people put in place. But sometimes if there are a lot of difficulties, normally we should have like a system where these civil societies are very accompanied and pushed in case they lack funds. So looking for funds is sometimes complicated, because
talking about the country's policy, is it that it doesn't really favor the operations or the activities you want to partake in, or it makes it difficult to obtain the funds for such of those activities?
Let me give you this very clear example. There have been a lot of civil societies that set as bad examples in these countries, to the extent that the government has taken some measures to be like very strict towards some kind of civil society. So when you go toward the government, sometimes they're like there are a lot of measures that don't really help the right civil society that is normally supposed to be doing the right thing. And I'm sure a lot of NGOs also will be, and civil societies also will be going through the same thing.
So just moving across you to Mr. Seyram,
Yeah.
some of the challenges faced.
First of all, we can talk about the financial challenges.
Money is always number
yes,
one problem.
it is important to mention it. As civil society organization, we don't get money from the money we get internally. It is not often enough to lead our activities. So we turn to the partners, and nowadays our partners it is difficult to get funds from them.
I think it's because it's a sprout of civil society and NGOs. I mean, you spoke earlier about when your interests meet.
Yes.
So imagine like 4 or 5 civil societies or NGOs have similar interests.
Yes.
They may go about it in a different way, but maybe their goal may be the same. So if you go to the same person for money, it's going to be difficult.
And it's not only because of the crowd of civil society organization, but also by the quantity of funding that are available nowadays. And the second one is institutional challenges. Our civil society environment, they are not very tied to the rules. So as a civil society shall have a board of directors, for example, but some of civil society just have one person
as a board of director
from Abraham time to now. and to finish, we have the networking challenge. As you said earlier, as civil society organization, we have to put ourselves together and move for the same goal if our interests are meeting. But unfortunately, we don't have these things in Togo in particular. We are not together, and if we are together, it's not easy to deal with individual interests.
Latif even said it, as a member, you are moving towards the same way, but there's a bit of divergence.
Yes.
Yeah.
So definitely at some point there will be some complications and all that.
It is a huge challenge. Yeah.
So, Madam.
Yeah, thank you. I think most has been already said, but what I will add on to what they said is like we have, like they say it clearly, internal and external challenges. And the internal is within the organization. The instability of the staff of an NGO, for instance, because NGO has a lot of needs in terms of operational needs, and we know clearly that there is no partner or no, how can we call them?
Collaborators?
No collaborators or no partners who really focus who are looking into the operational of the organization. It's only, let's say, on projects, whereby running the staff, for instance, the building, electricity, everything is not taken into consideration. It's a big challenge of NGOs, and at the same time they don't have enough budget to stabilize the staff. And secondly, I will add the low level of information, because most of NGOs, how should they contributed as civil society organization to really take their responsibilities? Because here is in terms of responsibility. If you are the voice of the voiceless, you have to know what is the new around your area of intervention, what are the new policies in place, what are the opportunities you have. I don't know if I can say engagement or really seriousness of the organization. It can also lead to the challenges we work on. So, and externally we have, like they said, the weak synergy between actors. We are doing the same thing, but we are each of us in our corners. Why not coming together? Because I know even coming together will be a challenge, because we know, and it's not new, that most of NGOs are created there to be running businesses. Is not on the premier or the priority on behalf of the community or local communities' needs or whatever. So I think those are the challenges we can also talk about and remind ourselves how important they are to really work on.
So the word is how important the role of civil society and NGOs at. You can follow this program every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. You can catch a repeat same time on Sundays on YouTube. You can follow this program on the New World TV, the KEYPOINT playlist, and on Facebook, the KEYPOINT with double I. We'll be going for a quick break. When we come back, the show continues. Welcome back. I have in the studios Maslin and Mr. Latif, as well as Mr. Seyram. We are talking about the roles of NGOs and civil societies. We've delved much into the conversation, but before we went for that break, Mr. Seyram wanted to make a submission, so I'm allowing him to have the platform.
Thank you very much. I wanted to add one more challenge, that is the security challenge. According to our security matters in Togo, actually, it's come to be difficult for some organizations that are intervening in the North theater of violent extremism activities to continue to do the activities that they have to do. Yes, in terms of protections or in terms of security, it's come to be difficult sometimes. And secondly, according to that security matter, we also have a general one, that is the security of persons that are working on human rights matters.
Okay.
Yes, it's also difficult.
I think there have been a couple of arrests and detention. Yes. There are some sort of block to freedom of expression. I mean, you were talking about freedom of expression earlier before I cut you off. So there are some of those difficulties that people are still enduring. Yeah. But I know we can't list all the challenges. Yes. So as time goes on, we probably touch on some a little bit about it. Yeah. Now, you members or representatives here are part of a collective. Now, if I as an individual wants to come and work with any of your organizations, I'll start with Mr. Latif. How can I become useful to your organization, or how can I support the work you do?
Okay, first of all, for you to have access to our organization, like what we do, is very simple. Like you need to go to the university. We have an office over there. When you go to American Corner, our office is there. You can find me there. You can find anybody there, and that's fine. And we have a registration, a registration document that you have to fill, a registration link that you can also fill online or whatever. And then there is also joining fees that you just need to pay.
Just membership. You have to be active.
You need to be active, and that is how we used to make everything move in the organization and all those stuff. Now, for someone to support our initiatives, usually we work through grants and projects. So we target a lot of partners and sponsors that we send projects to that, and before they sponsor us, we make sure we sign a kind of partnership with them before. But if we've not yet got to you and you want to have a partnership with us, it's very simple. Just come to the university, go to American Corner, and people will be there to receive you.
That is for an individual.
For an individual, yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Sarah?
Yeah. First of all, showing interest and supporting our activities as individual. We need money, we need funds to do our activities, and our activities are not only social cohesion, sensitization, awareness raising, but also women and youth empowerment in conflict zones, conflict areas. So individual can bring funds, and also enterprises, private sector can also, and we are located in Agbalepedo, Gan, close to facing école privée like Valerie. So if you come there, and also our social media. Yeah.
He spoke earlier, when you go to the university, you go to American Corner.
Yes.
We have a logbook you can register. We have an online platform.
Yes.
So imagine I want to come to Wanem. Either I want to volunteer myself, I want to donate money. How do I get to you? Do you have a media platform?
Yes.
Do I just try and look online, get your number, call
Yes.
you? And that's what I want to actually know as
Okay.
an individual. How do I get to one?
Yeah, it's easy. The first manner is our social media.
Okay.
That is Wanep Togo, Wanep and
Hyphen
Togo. Yes, Togo. And you send us message and we answer. And the second one is to come at our office. That is at Agbanepedo Data Center. Yeah. But
So
if
in
you
terms
want,
of supporting you financially,
yes.
that one too would have to contact you first,
Yes,
and then you
yes,
take the steps
yes.
from there. I'm looking for the clarity because who knows, somebody might be interested, and this might be the platform through which the person can get that kind of information. I hope you
Yeah.
get me right. So, Miss Maslin,
Thank you. In how can individual get involved within the organization? We have like a branch of joining the organization. First of all, like a member, the organization has like small clubs called local branches, which is spread all over the country, Togo. We have local branch campus, Lomé, Zangera, it depends on the area you
Where you
live
are,
in.
okay.
So, first of all, we have like membership form with membership fees, which is like 2,000.
we wouldn't go into the
Okay,
finances,
so
though.
there is a lot of information needed on the formula, and after we will direct you to the local branches who is near to you. Secondly, is through internship. As I said earlier, JVE is a bit like, where students coming directly from school, where they come to have like the field experience, to know the real work within civil society organization. So through internship, you can also volunteer or be part of the internship program we use to do each year. So the organization is open. You have just to draw the letter requesting internship. If you have like a particular interest within the whole branch of activities the organization is doing, is also the opportunity for you to highlight on that. And last but not the least is through our project, because some of our projects are put online for crowdfunding. So in terms of donation, because it's not like humanitarian organization, we work specifically on projects. So each project, depending on your interest, you can go. We have online platform which have credential to hosting our money. So I think those are the three ways if one can contribute to our activities or be part of the family. Thank you.
If I can summarize,
Yeah.
the first instance is to come to your offices. The second instance is to when you do your crowdfunding on social networks.
Yeah.
Okay, that is, I'm trying to get it more simpler, right? So now we are going to deal more specifically, go a little bit deeper into your various organizations. So I will start with Mr. Latif, TNDC. Tell us one or two projects that you've carried out and what is the impact of such a project in the shortest time possible.
Yeah, we organized Togo National Debate Championship. We started organizing that since 2014, and the aim is to, this debate to be promoting democracy, promoting leadership, and all those. And we try to bring up topics that have to do with all the domains possible for young people to delve into, do researches, and come and talk about. It's a way of giving an opportunity to everybody to come up with their ideas, whether to or fro. Now, and what we do is, every single year, we send the best of Togo National Debate Championship to the Pan-African University Debate Championship. So Togo has been participating to the Pan-African University Debate Championship since 2015.
That's great.
So we were in Ghana, Zimbabwe, Cameroon, Tanzania, Botswana, Kenya last year. And this year, which is the second project, Togo is hosting the Pan-African University Debate Championship here just next month. It's just, from December 3rd to December 11th, just a month and a half. So we're going to be welcoming over 572 participants from 114 universities coming from 30 African countries. So this is what we are expecting currently, and we have the university hosting the event. and we have the government 4 to 5 ministries like accompanying us, and we think everything is ready.
I like how brief he was and straight on point. So, Mr. Waneb.
So our successes, there's two years. I can talk about the successful challenge to bring the implementation peace education in preschooler, so in kindergartens in Togo. So actually, it is a huge. I think it was a huge success to bring that to be a reality, and actually we are looking for funding to print documents and share it to the preschooler teachers. The second success is that we last year, regarding to the security challenge we are facing in Togo, we successfully drafted and validated the national strategy on prevention and fighting violent extremism that was adopted with the government, and actually waiting for the presidential validation. And I can talk finally about the successfully also empowerment of more than 800 women and young people in the northern region, and also in the maritime region.
Okay, we have a lot of successful stories within the organization, and I think I've mentioned already that we also work on advocacy. So through that work on the involvement of civil society organization on the political sphere of the whole country, let's say our organization has succeeded in mobilizing like 800 civil society organizations onto one platform called the Civil Society Working Group on SDGs. And this platform is known as civil society organization, which gathered faith-based organizations, movements on gender-based, even the minority groups, the LGBT or the albinos people, plus NGOs and even private sector agencies. So we have succeeded in bringing together those organizations, and we are known at governmental level, whereby last year we have been even invited to contribute hardly in the elaboration of the national report of Togo, which will be presented at the high-level political forum each year, as a participatory platform created by United Nations in terms of inclusivity, or to see the average of implementation of SDGs globally. So this is a success because we have been through many challenges before having this result, and we should be proud of that one. And secondly, we have, as environmental organization, draw a manual, educational manual on environment and ecological issues. So this manual has been approved by our Ministry of Environment, which is our Ministre de Tutelle, who has really appreciated the document and as a tool in the national development plan in terms of climate and mitigation effort of Togo. So the manual, we call it in French document PEC, which is really and highly recommended, and we wish in the coming years that it should be integrated into the curricula of Togo school education system.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, time wouldn't permit us to go further on the topic. So thank you, Mr. Latif. Thank you, Mr. Seyram and Ms. Maslin, for coming on the Key Point for this week. I'm hoping I will meet you guys next week to see how such developments have improved, and that will be very nice. So viewers, we come to the end of the show. You can watch us every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. As I said earlier, see you next week. It's a bye.